So what to expect now that your baby has been born? Obviously, it's a whirlwind in those first probably 12 hours that you're in the hospital. And again, dependent on whether you've had a vaginal birth or a cesarean section will greatly depend on the speed of your recovery and the type of recovery that you're going to have. If we've had a vaginal birth, again, check with your hospital if you're having a hospital birth on the timeline, but you will stay for 1 to 2 nights in the hospital. And again, it depends on where you're birthing, whether you have a private room or a shared room as well. Many women do feel that they want to go home after the first night if they've had a vaginal birth, but this is a completely personal choice. I will mention that when you're in the shared room, those first 12 hours, generally speaking, your baby is very sleepy. You have gone through a huge effort to birth your baby, and it's also been a lot of work for your little one too. So we do sort of notice on the second day that your baby starts to wake up. So I do experience a lot of mums when they get home on that second day and they say, is this a different baby? Have they swapped my baby for someone else? Because they do suddenly start to wake up after they've had that beautiful first 24 to 48 hours of sleep. So one thing that I will mention is that you will bleed in your postpartum. It is very normal to have a period like symptoms of cramping and blood for up to 6 weeks. Something that you should know is that that period should start to lessen over that time. So if you are noticing that your period is heavy and then it starts to slow down and suddenly gets heavy again, you should absolutely call your healthcare provider, call your hospital or midwife and get that checked, because that could mean that you have a little bit of a complication with a retained placenta, or there may be another issue involved. And in regards to your period postpartum, when you are breastfeeding, it is releasing a lot of hormones, and many people may not realize that that actually helps for your uterus to continue to contract. Your uterus is going to continue to contract for up to 6 weeks and sometimes longer for it to go back to its original size. So breastfeeding is actually helping to release the hormones that continue to contract your uterus together. And this can be uncomfortable, and it can feel like, I guess, it feels like strong period pain.